The past week has been absolutely insane when it comes to the Xbox side of things in the game industry. I know I haven't really made a video about it or talked about it because it's been covered to death. Everybody and their mother is making videos on it. So I figured, it's covered well enough. I don't need to really talk about it. It's all the stuff about the 9,000 layoffs and the two canceling Everwild and canceling Perfect Dark and laying off half of Turn 10, all these massive shakeups going on Xbox. Not good stuff. But one of the most like heartbreaking stories out of that over the past week has been Romero Games. If you don't know, John Romero is the co-creator of the original Doom from 1993. And again, if you've watched my channel for any reasonable amount of time, you would know I'm a big fan of Doom, the whole franchise, not just the original. But his game studio, which he runs with his wife, I believe, and like not a huge team, probably like a pretty small sized team, they've been working on a new FPS game for the past several years, as far as I know. And one of the biggest gut punches the other day is that his game was seemingly canceled. The funding was pulled by Microsoft, which is just insane to me. And now I have to take back what I said. Like one of my videos, I said that I think in one of my videos, I think when I was referencing the past layoffs, I said I don't think id would ever be closed. Now, obviously, id is not Romero Games, but John Romero started at id. I said something like, "Well, Phil Spencer respects the legacy of id too much to try and shut them down. Like he would never do that." And then, of course, this happens, which is, I mean, it's not closing id, but it's darn close to it. But then again, I don't think it was Phil's call to close them. I think it was Satya Nadella's. Basically, all of Xbox's problems right now are coming from the top. So, coming from Satya Nadella. So, I have no doubt that Phil was very apprehensive to do this, but he had no choice. But there is some good news, it seems. This came out today, a few days after the seeming cancellation of his game. Former Doom devs, this is from GameSpot, former Doom devs confirm Romero Games is, quote, not closed despite game cancellation. Romero can't reveal which publisher pulled funding, but says, quote, some may infer it from public information. Although I think this has been updated again from another site saying that somebody else might publish it now. So the game might not be canceled either. Despite rumors and reports that pointed to the contrary, Romero Games is in fact still kicking. Though things are still touch and go as the team is forced to, quote, reassess the staffing of the studio. Romero Games, founded by industry veterans John and Brenda Romero, so it is his wife too, was deep in development on its latest game when its publisher suddenly pulled funding from the project last week, causing the game to be canceled and casting a shadow on the future of the Galway? Where is that? Galway-based team? In a statement shared to Romero Games' social media pages on July 7th, the studio clarified a lot of the questions surrounding its future and the unfortunate cancellation. So this is from Romero Games Limited, update July 7th. We want to address recent reports regarding the status of Romero Games. These reports have contained inaccuracies, and we feel it's important to set the record straight. The funding for our project was pulled, and our game was canceled. Due to confidentiality agreements, we cannot disclose the publisher's identity, though some may infer it from public information. As a result, we now have to reassess the entire staffing of our studio. Romero Games is not closed, and we are doing everything in our power to ensure that it does not come to that. Any suggestion otherwise is factually incorrect. Indeed, we were in the studio today to discuss next steps with the team. We've been contacted by several publishers interested in helping us bring the game across the finish line, and we're currently evaluating those opportunities. We appreciate the outpouring of support and will... Hold on. And will what? And we'll share further updates as we are able. Romero Games. All right, that's good news. So the game, they could get another publisher. They could do something similar that Skybound did when Telltale Games went belly up. The final season of The Walking Dead was like 75, actually more than that. It's probably 90% completed. And then Telltale Games, the first version of it, went up in flames. And Skybound came to the rescue and helped fund the rest of the game, and they put it out. So I think a similar thing can happen. This is one of those cases where I wish somebody rich, someone like Elon Musk or somebody, would come in and be like, "Hey, here's a few $100 million, which is nothing for him. Finish your game." and I'll publish it. Like, I wish people would do that. The short post claims that the team's project did lose funding last week, putting the team in a difficult spot. So I guess it was funded somehow by Microsoft. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's from their ID at Xbox program. I don't know. Due to the nature of the deal, Romero Games cannot reveal the publisher that pulled the team's funding. Yeah, I'm curious who it was. But as news of layoffs and similar cancellations across several Xbox studios continued, was it actually Microsoft Game Publishing? Like the ones that are publishing, what's it called? Ninja Gaiden 4? It could have been. Like, they could have been funded by them. I don't know. What was I saying? Some cancellations continued to trickle out last week. It was largely believed to be Microsoft. Well, probably. Romero Games post suggests that some may infer from the public. Yeah. In a spot of good news, it states that its interested parties have reached out in order to potentially bring it. Yeah, I read that. Crucially, it also makes clear that Romero is still open and that the team was even in the studio as recently as today to discuss possible next steps. Romero Games was established in... Okay, so it's been around for 10 years, huh? And has released a number of games since its inception, including the mod... Have they released an actual game? I think I remember this like top-down Mafia game they did. I can't remember what it was called, though. Yeah, they did the mod Sigil and Sigil 2, which were the unofficial continuations for Doom. The foundational FPS. Yeah, duh, we all know what Doom is. The team was Empire of Sin, I remember that. A strategy game set in the Prohibition era and published by Paradox, and was working on a new FPS. Dude, that would be awesome. Last week, Microsoft executed another, we know. And they just go over all the bad news that we already know about, or that a lot of people, if you're following it, you know. But yeah, this is like, I hope the game can actually get across the finish line, because a brand new John Romero created FPS now could be really good. Like, yeah, people didn't like Daikatana back in the day for the most part, but people really like Sigil, his expansions to Doom. So I think he's like basically an auteur in the space, so I think we should give him a chance. Like, if anybody deserves a chance to finish making a game, it's John Romero. I mean, for God's sakes, he co-created Doom. That's iconic. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It'd be funny. It'd be kind of interesting. What if Sony picked it up? I don't know. I don't think so. But it's a shame that this happened, and I hope a new publisher steps in. If one does, I'll make a follow-up video and talk more about my thoughts. But yeah, fingers crossed that that Romero's new game actually happens. So let me know what you think in the comments about it. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't. I'm close to I'm closing in on, well, I think I'm almost at 150 now. Trying to get to 200. It's a slow grind. I was under 100 for years on end, and so it's finally getting traction now. So I'd really appreciate the subscribers. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.